Everyone, welcome back to my channel, Real Life Daddy Lessons with me, Val. Thank you again for joining me today. So today we are going to learn all about birds, how to say the different types of birds in Dari. All right, before we begin, how do we say bird or birds in general in Dari? It's parinda, parinda, okay? Parinda, okay, which means birds, parinda. Now, on the screen beside me, I will pop up a picture of each bird that I name so you guys can understand which bird exactly it is that I'm talking about. All right, so let's begin. The first bird we have is parrot. How do we say parrot in Dari? Tota. Tota. All right? Tota. Tota is parrot. Tota. All right? The next bird we have on the list is peacock. Is peacock. How do we say peacock in Dari? Taus. Taus. All right? Taus is peacock, and peacocks are so beautiful. Taus. The next bird that we have is pigeon. So how do you say pigeon in Dari? Kabutar. Kabutar. All right? Kabutar is pigeon in Dari. The next bird, one of my favorite birds, the dove, the elegant, beautiful dove. How do we say dove in Dari? Kaftar. Kaftar. Kaftar is dove. Kaftar. All right? Kaftar. Now, small birds, all kinds of little small birds. Now, there isn't a name for every single small species of birds because there's millions of birds and different species out there. So small birds in general is gunjishk. Gunjishk. Okay? Little tiny birds. Gunjishk. Alright? Gunjishk is small tiny little birds. Which one comes first? The chicken or the egg? Alright, how do we say chicken in Dari? Murg. Murg. So there's the cha in the word. Murg. Okay? Murg. There's the cha and it almost ends on the sound of G. And it almost sounds in a G sound. Murg. Alright? You gotta practice that cha. But so it's not murg. Okay? It's not murg. It's murg. You're going to have to use the G in there a little bit. Murg. It's a heavy landing. Murg. Murg. Alright? And that's how you say chicken. The next one of my personal favorite birds. I love them because they're just so majestic and mysterious. The crow. How do we say crow in Dari? Zog. Zog is Dari. Zog is crow. Okay? Again, you're going to hear the h in the end. Zog. I'll say it very slowly. Zog. Alright, but when you say it fast and normally, it's zog. Zog. Okay? Crow. I love crows. I know they're large birds and a lot of people don't like them and they're connected with so many. I love crows. I think they're very beautiful and majestic. Zog. And very intelligent birds, by the way. Zog. Did you know, I have to tell you guys this, did you know that when a crow is sick, like say they have a cut somewhere on their body, they will go and find an anthill, and they'll literally land on that anthill. They'll literally sit on that anthill and let the ants eat all the bacteria from wherever they're injured, which I think is absolutely intelligent. Crows are very intelligent. All right, so zog, zog, crow. Next one, little birds that are very colorful and like to sing. All right. They like to sing, these chirping little tiny birds that like to sing. What are they called? We call them in Dari, it is called bulbul. Alright? Bulbul. I think it's just a funny name. Bulbul. Alright? Those are the little tiny birds that sing, that tweet all day long. Alright? Bulbul. That's how you say it. Alright, next one, duck. How do we say duck? Murgawi. Murgawi is duck. Murgawi. Alright? Murgawi. Murgawi If I were to slow it down, it would be مرغوي, but obviously nobody speaks like that. That's unnatural. So natural way and pace would be مرغوي, which is duck. All right. Next bird, owl. How do we say owl in Dari? Boom. Boom. All right. Literally, boom. Boom is owl. Boom. All right. They say in the Afghan culture, they say never to stare at an owl, like a real owl. Don't stare at one because it'll get you sick. Superstitions. But anyway, that's one of them. They say not to look and stare into an owl's eyes for too long because you can get sick. I don't know. But anyways, that's how you say owl in Dari. Boom. All right. Next one, the beautiful, majestic eagle. How do we say eagle? Bosha. Bosha. All right. Bosha. Very beautiful, large birds. Bosha. All right, bosha. That's how we say eagle. All right, my students, that's it for this lesson on birds. If I have missed a type of bird, I'll definitely include it in one of my next lessons that pertains to animals. I hope you have a wonderful day. Khudafiz.